Hi everybody, this is Whompa. As you can see, I'm sitting here dealing with my 220 gallon, not quite sure if it's 220 gallon, but it's 6 feet and it's pretty tall. And well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the fish that I have in this tank because I haven't been able to make really a decent video about my tank. I've had this tank for almost 2 years. The tank is actually 20 years old. A friend of mine actually used to wash this tank about 20 years ago every day at his lunch break. And just so happens that we're such good friends and I have such a nice demeanor towards people. I actually started off with a 30 gallon. As you can see over there in the corner, it has nothing inside right now. I'm just letting the water run through, clean it out. And then probably I'm going to throw my red jewel cichlids inside of there because they seem to pretty much do good at mating. But mom and them, when the environment in the large tank is disturbed, she tends to eat all the babies up. So I'm going to try a little experiment now, and I'm going to transfer her over there with the dad. Let them lay a few eggs, fertilize them, get me a few fry, and then I'm going to throw mom and dad back inside the tank, the large tank. So I can see how long the red jewels will survive without their mom eating them up. Okay? So right now, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about some of the fish that I do have in the tank. I'm going to give you a close-up. Excuse the train in the background if you can hear that. I have 3 jewels, red blood jewels. I have 1 yellow-red devil cichlid. I have a jaguar cichlid. I have 1 Texas cichlid. I have Jack Dempsey's. I have green terrors. I have 2 bumblebees. I have a red-tailed shark. I have 2 Bela sharks. I also have a yellow lab. He's pretty small, but he's growing. He's surviving in the tank. I have 1 firemouth, pretty small. And I actually have 1 fish that I actually bred before. The mother was a red empress, and the dad, I think, was a electric blue hat or something, but they mixed them, and I have 1 baby surviving out of that batch of little fish. I also have 2 bluefish, which I haven't quite learned the names of them in the dinosaur form, but I also have a very large giraffe fish who seems to be a little bully in a tank here and there. Okay, I'm going to show you my fish now. I'm going to give you a close-up. Just 1 second. I'm going to put it down on the floor. I'm going to start at this end. And hopefully you can get a great look at those fish here. This is the bluefish here that I was talking about. Wow, he dipped out of there. As you can see, you have a yellow lab back there. You have your bumblebee. I have another bluefish here as well. I also forgot to tell you guys about, I have 1 frontosa. I have just 1. He's the most expensive fish in the tank. I also had 1 snail, if you can actually see it there. They ate them. My fish actually eat very, very well. They actually have flakes. I also feed them sweet peas. I also feed them shrimp. I feed them cucumbers. They do eat frozen baby guinea pigs. That was something we just tried once, but they pretty much enjoy. Some of my fish are actually carnivorous, and then some of them are omnivorous, and then some are just, herbivores or whatever like that. But they basically don't give me any problem at anything that I basically can put into the tank. Live insects, frozen brine shrimp, pellets. They even have the little things that are frozen in the packet or whatever. But then I also bought another kind of food that was actually little balls, and it was meaty. And they loved it, but the only thing it did, it would actually dirty the tank up. Okay. Here are some more of my little fish. Sometimes these guys actually will come to the camera. They're not really that camera shy. Let's see. Hi. See here, I have my blue bear. He's very interested in what's going on today. Who else back there? There's this baby that I was telling you about that I actually bred. I've had actually over 200 of them. I gave them away to my community because, you know, a lot of children in the community do have special needs. And, you know, me just recently being diagnosed with lupus is kind of being, you know, it helps the mind. You know, I'm able to relax a little bit more, breathe a little bit better, you know. Things are happening well, you know. I started actually doing this hobby actually 3 years ago. I knew a lot about fish anyway because as a child, I'm a southern girl. I actually grew up with lots of animals. We caught frogs, we caught turtles. I've had everything from gerbils to birds. Um, Really, I've just had a lot of animals, really experience with animals. Also, let me tell you a little bit about how I clean my tank. I really don't use anything. I use regular tap water. I give it regularly cleanings. I basically, every 2 or 3 days, I do actually suck the gravel due to the fact that there is a lot of waste here. I have a pleco here. He doesn't do such a great job. And you know, I have to get me more bottom feeders or more, how you say, algae eaters and things like that. But I don't want to overcrowd my tank. I've watched a few videos on YouTube and I can see how the audience can be pretty judgmental about having too many fish in an environment that I do agree on as well. So I do from time to time, I do let my fish grow out. And then I do go back to the pet store and I do trade off so that someone who has a very large aquarium can actually come out to purchase those large fish that I've been able to grow within this tank here. I gave away a pleco who was actually 1.5 feet long. And I traded him for a few of these guys here that I've had almost 2 months. And they're pretty much doing very well. You know, very cool hobby. I'm glad to be a part of the cichlid community. But it's very, very relaxing, you know. My water looks a little cloudy because I fed them some peas, so I'm going to have to go back in later. Maybe not today. I'm a little tired. I did a little cleaning of it yesterday. So maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll actually do a video showing me cleaning my tank because my tank doesn't take a lot of time to clean like most people I see on YouTube. I'm very, you know, direct in exactly where I want to start cleaning, removing rocks. And as I'm cleaning the tank, suctioning the gravel, I am removing rocks and everything all at one time, as well as emptying the tank in water. When I refill the tank, I refill the tank halfway, then I apply my decorations back in, and then I go from there with the regular refill. I add nothing that I add to the water. I don't do anything. And like I said, I've had a Texas cichlid. Maybe he's in one of my other videos. He actually was the size of my hand. So as you see my hand right there. But very, very aggressive fish. I really actually like his personality. They act like dogs. People say that sometimes the fish takes on the characteristics of their owner. Mine took on the characteristics of dogs, as these are as well. I just love doing the cichlid thing, but hopefully I'll get more fish to show, you know, my tank. I want my tank to be very colorful. I also need to buy more decorations and, you know, trees and leaves and things like that. So you know, no one's so territorial, but they have their days. They're like humans, you know, they have personalities, they have emotions, they get frightened, you know, but I also forgot to tell you I do have a convict cichlid in there. Let me tell you about those convicts. I actually bought 10 convicts. And in that batch of 10 convicts, I actually had 7 girls and 3 boys. Well, I was able to mate tremendously. I mean, when the convict actually mates, it can actually be a hassle because you have to only keep convicts. They took over half of this tank here, and it was just like, you know, not good. So I had to actually remove all of the cichlids, and I had placed them in a 30-gallon, but then they outgrew the 30-gallon. And like I said, I've bred many of these fish before. I had to give them away to the community. You know, I gave them to a lot of children and parents that, you know, couldn't afford to actually go to a pet store and pay $5.99 for one fish, or a fish that actually had a personality that would actually show attention to its owner. So basically, I'm into this hobby. I'm gonna make more videos. I'm hoping to become friends with more people in the Cichlid community, because this is actually a really cool hobby. Like, you know, I couldn't believe that I actually did this. My parents thought I was crazy when I actually told them that I had a 6-foot-gallon, 6-foot tank on my floor in my living room. You know, a lot of people didn't believe that I actually could take care of it. And also, this tank has been through a lot of, you know, work. We've had to apply PVC piping in the back there. As you can see, we've had to silicone, cement, and, you know, get all that in there. You know, it's 2 holes underneath this tank here. People actually had a filtration system that went down into the basement with sump pump. Basically, I shortened the whole process out when I was given the tank by cutting off the pipes and sealing them. Thanks, Dad, for giving me a little bit of those contracting skills. And, you know, I was able to actually make the tank suitable for just a regular aquarium, like, you know. But also, this is a built tank. Someone built this tank 20 years ago, and the gentleman that actually built this tank has built numerous tanks out in East Harlem, you know. But he did a great job. The the silicone and everything of this tank basically could last another 20 years, but we do from time to time take it down and actually check everything for 24 hours to make sure there are no holes, no gaps. But it's a beautiful tank. You know, right now I'm having a little fight here on the side. Hopefully I can catch a little bit of it for you. I have my Texas cichlid and my red blood jewel having a little issue. They've been fighting a lot lately. Why, I don't know. Maybe my Texas, he's starting to change colors and things. I think he wants to mate at such a small size. But I also am able to trick my fish into mating. I read a lot about a lot of the fish. You have to change certain degrees of the tank in the water, and, you know, they do their little dance. You know, it's very rewarding. You know, my fish are basically spoiled like my child. You know, he gets everything, and so do they. You know, I have to fix up a new stand. I actually want to turn this tank into a bar. You know, I thought it was really a cool project to actually try out, and it's also a centerpiece of something that everybody in your home could actually come in and be like, wow, you know, interact with. You know, but this is my tank. Thank you guys for watching. Hope to make more videos soon. Signing out. Whompa Cichlids.